Hey everybody, this is lesson 3 of the Pascale method. Let's turn to lesson 3, and you see on the left side we have left hand, bow hold, bow arm. So that's what we're working on this week. We do the 4-stepped left hand. If you look at the notes section, it says make a stop sign, line it up. Fingers back, leg in the sun, tick-tock elbow, almost done. Walk your fingers one by one. So we're going to practice that today. I'm going to explain what that all means. But let's look at our practice assignments. We have finger pals, which is in the first one means just these stickers that you put on your nails so you can look at them while you play. Okay, number 2, we have take the steps to hold your violin correctly. So let's go ahead. Let's get our violins. And we go into rest position. Try to be in rest position with your left hand free. Just like this. Okay. Now hold your violin with the thumb on the back. Now we're in lesson 3. Let's do a shortcut. We're going to go straight to our left ear. Drop it to your shoulder. Look up to the sky. Press it into your neck and down on that chin rest. So that's how to hold your violin. Try to hold it without your hands. See, you can just do this. And you don't want to drop it. So do your best to hold it steady and then now let's put our left hand right here. Now, let's do our 4-step left hands, number 3. So, we make a stop sign, line it up. Okay, so we're going to make a stop sign. We line it up with that left hand. Okay, fingers back, lay in the sun. Tick-tock elbow, almost done, but you're going to end here. Bring your elbow in. Walk your fingers, start with 1. So, you start with, let's do E1. E2, E3. So your index finger is 1, your middle finger is 2, your ring finger is 3. So open, that means no fingers. So open. Let's do A1. Okay, make sure both of those knuckles are bent. A2, A3. Now let's go open D. D1, D2, D3. Now open G. G1, G2, G3. Okay, all the knuckles are bent. Now no fingers. Okay, that is your 4-step left hand. Now finger table, what is that? Well, put your first finger down on the E string. You see how it makes a little table right here? That just means bent knuckles. Okay. We already did walk your fingers, number 5. Now number 6, we're going to do some more plucking. So pluck your, learn to read quarter notes and quarter rests. Okay. So we have plucking, starting with the quarter notes and quarter rests. So let's get in playing position. Okay, we have our right hand making an L. We're going to have our thumb on the corner of the fingerboard, and we're going to be on the D string first. Now, you see those rests? You see those little squiggly signs? That means rest. That means you don't play. Okay, so let's start with D string. We're going to do open D. Ready, go. Ta, ta, ta. Rest. E. Ta, ta, ta. Rest. E. A. E. A. D. 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 Rest. D. A. E. Rest. G. 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 D. Rest. D. Rest. D. A. Rest. Rest. A. Rest. 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 E. Rest. 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 A. Rest. Now, if you see on the next page, we have our rhythm cards. So we are going to be introducing the 8th notes. So what are 8th notes? Well, you see how the quarter notes are ta, ta. They have only one birdie. Now, the The eighth notes are going to be the T with two birdies. So T, 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 T. So let's go ahead. We're going to clap this. We're going to say it out loud and you're going to clap it at the same time. So try to do it with me, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta, T, T, ta, T, 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 ta, ta, T, T, ta, T, T, ta, ta, T, T, rest, rest. Okay, that is the rhythm cards. Hopefully that makes sense. Next, we have our eighth notes, and quarter rests. So before we play this, let's first clap the rhythms and say it out loud. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 rest, ta, 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 rest, ta, ti, ti, ta, rest, ta, ti, ti, ta, rest, ti, 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 ta, ta, ti, 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 ta, 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 rest, ta, rest, ta, rest, 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 ta, 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 ta. Okay, that is lesson 3. Well, this section. Next, let's pluck it. So let's get our violins. And let's get in playing position. Go straight to your left ear, shoulder, and down. Now we get our right hand. We make an L. Thumb on the corner of the fingerboard. Okay, now let's go on the A string. We're going to start with A. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, E, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, A, ta, 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 rest, ta, 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 rest, G, ti, ti, ta, rest, D, ta, ti, ti, ta, rest, ti, 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 ta, ta, ti, 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 ta, ta, E, ta, rest, ta, rest, A, rest, 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 E, A, D, G. Okay, that is this page. And next we have the bow. So let's go grab our bow and you're going to take the steps to hold your bow correctly. This is a review from last week. Okay, we go shaking out that right hand. Make sure you will hold it with your left hand. We bend our thumb, Mr. Engineer, sits down to drive the train. Okay, middle finger, Mr. Conductor, circles around to collect the tickets. Okay, now index is daddy, lays down because he's lazy. Ring finger is mommy, looks out the window to catch a better view. Baby, or pinky, jumps up and down because it's excited. So that is our bow hold. Just make sure you have a bent thumb, pinky curved. These two fingers are curved all the way over. I don't want to see any of that. You curve them all the way over. Now our index finger, I see a lot of students, they kind of hold it like that. You're going to lay that wrist down. See that? And so that is your bow hold. Now, next we have ride the elevator. So we're doing elevator number 8. So we hold that bow correctly. Now we're going to go vertical. You're going to go to your belly button and you're going to go up and it's going to make an N right here. You're going to bend that wrist. Okay, down, it makes a U. Okay, up, make an N, down, make a U. Next, we have square position on the D string. So let's get our violin and our bow. And you're going to be in rest position with that violin. And how do you hold your bow and your violin? Well, you see how I stick my finger in the bow and then the rest of the hand. can grab the violin. So you're going to try to be in rest position. See how my left hand is free to do whatever I want, turn pages. So this is rest position. Now let's start with our violin. So we take the steps to hold our violin correctly using that left hand. It goes straight to our shoulder, look up to the sky, and down on that chin rest. Okay. Now you're going to try to hold that with just the chin, no hands. Now that bow, you can use that left hand to hold the middle of the bow and then take the steps to hold your bow correctly until you got it. Now you let go. You have that bow. Okay. Left hand, make a stop sign, line it up. Fingers back, land sun. Tick tock, elbow, almost done. Bring it in. Okay. And now we're going to be on the D string. So you have that bow hold. We're going to be in the middle of the bow on the D string. This is how you do it. I don't want to see the bow like this or like this. I want it to be nice and parallel with the bridge. See how that's parallel? So this is going to make a square right here. It's going to make a square. That's why it's called square position. Now, next we're going to do airplane wing. So let's airplane wing. That means we're going to just practice putting our bow on each string. So let's go G string. And so you see how it's only touching the G string. Now D string, A string, E string. Okay, let's do it again. So we got G string, D string, A string, E string, A string, D string, G string. You just practice that, getting a feel for each bow level. Okay, that is the end of lesson 3, and use this to practice with every day, and I'll see you next week for lesson 4.